מאשר יושיט לו המלך את שרביט הזהב וחיה. Other than that, if the king stretches forth his golden scepter, and they will live. And I wasn't called to the king, Esther says, for the last 30 days. Aleph. So first, Rabos Bo, Parshat Ezvav, Yafak Lavanachulu. First matter about this Indian that Tzedek brings is in Medrash Rabbah, on the verse from Shira Shirim, beautiful like the moon, Kishem Shalavana Nolda L'Shloshim, that just like the new moon is born after 30 days, Kach Esther Amra Vani Chulu Shloshim Yom. So she says, I haven't been called for 30 days. Im ken Hamelech Hainu Ziranpin. If so, the king then corresponds with Zah, Hanikra Malka, that's called the king. So the Lavan of the moon is like Malchus, and the new moon is its union with is Malchus, is elevation and union with Zah, that's compared to the sun, the Shemesh. That's called the king. And every Rosh Chodesh you have this union of the sun and the moon. Bez Shalah Parshas Tetzaveh Shin Kaf Ches Aleph. Inshallah, Parshas Tetzaveh V'inyan V'nishma Kolo Bivo Ochul. It talks about how the bells on the bottom of the garments of the Kohen Gadol will be heard when he comes into the holy. Netilas Rishus Likanes. It's like knocking on the door or ringing a bell to go in. Because somebody who enters the palace of the king suddenly, without invitation and so forth, without asking, is obligated the death penalty. Kinyan Achashverosh Chulu, like the concept by Achashverosh that you can't just go in. And like it's brought on the verse, and no man will be in the Oel Moed, and so forth. When it comes to atone on Yom Kippur, that nobody's allowed to be there unless you're supposed to. Gimel Sham Shin Chavtes, further in the Shalah, Masher Yoshit lo Hamelech Rashit Yevuz Milah. Other than that which the king stretches forth his scepter, so the Masher Yoshit lo Hamelech is Rashit Yevuz Milah. Efshar Lamar Mechuvan. So what's the connection between the scepter and the Milah? We can say Shalidei Milah Yocholavo L'Chatzar Pnimis, that through the Milah that allows you to enter the inner courtyard, and that's why you have this verse that we say, by the Milah, praised is the one who you choose and you bring close. Yishkon Chatzirecha, you will dwell in your courtyard. V'itasa kamanda mahal yadamya. And a woman is as if she already has a milah. Valkein nichnasa Esther lechatzar pnimis. Therefore, Esther could go into the inner courtyard. Finally, common sof siftes. Vishlomar, we can say mishishomer briso yoshit lo melech malchei amlachim sharvit hazahav. That somebody who guards his bris, the king of all kings, will stretch forth for him his golden scepter. So that you can go into the spiritual chatzar pnimis. Daled b'me'ori or oshin sif samech tes sharvit nikra yisod. So in me'ori or it explains that the word sharvit refers to the concept of yisod. V'sharvit hazav yisod de bina, and the golden scepter that refers to yisod of bina. Shemimena hagvuros, from which comes the strictnesses, because bina is like gvuros, and zahav, in comparison to silver, is gvura. Vesharvit gematria yud pamim ban imakol elad kanoshono. And sharvit is the gematria of 10 times ban with the kolel. So ban is the concept of gvuros. According to this, we can say, as Brisi Akim es Yitzchak, that my bris I will establish, which is Yitzchak. So bris and Yitzchak Yitzchak is Gvuros Haderech Vateshiv Veitan Kashto, like the concept of how it says by Yosef, who is Yisod, that his Keshes stood with strength. Be'etan is the concept of strength and Gvura. Yasis Kegibur Larutz Orach, and so too we will rejoice like a strong man to run the path. So the path is like the concept of Yisod. Yasis Kegibur is the masculine Yisod, because it says there V'hu Kechasan Yotzei Mechupaso. Lechem B'Bechina Zu Nikra Yisod Sharvit HaZahav. Therefore, in this aspect, the Yisod is called the golden scepter, Shemamshir Chashefa Mebechinas Bina, that draws down the flow from Bina, Shemeir Ba'atik Yomin, and Bina, it shines into Bina, Atik Yomin. And that's why Yasis, to rejoice, is the gematria of Keser, and that's why it says from great strength. Ve'amitz koach ish lo nedar. So the concept of Rovonim is the idea of Hashpa from Keser, how he counts the stars. I'm not sure how that connects exactly. Vain me'inyan zahav v'b'torah or pashas miketz b'dibur ha'maschil kim chamikor chaim. Luke puts part about the concept of gold in Torah or miketz, about with you is the source of life. V'gam ki eker ha'chayus nimshach mi gvuros elyonos, and also because the main life force comes from supernal strictnesses, supernal strengths, kamo ki adam hu nefesh, like the idea that the blood is the soul, and the blood is the concept of gvuros. V'chein gvuros geshamim, so to the strengths of the rain. The expression that the rain comes down with gvura, and so that's life and chayus that comes from the life-giving rain that comes down in parts through gvuros. V'hinei im b'gvuros shmonim shana zeu abina. Now it states that if you live with strength, you live to 80 years. So 80 is the concept of Bina, the 8th Sphira from below to above. K'mailas hazahav al hakesef, like the greatness of gold over silver. Mitoch divrei hakuzri, Mamer Gimel, sof sif yud, semin yud zayin perush. So in the Kuzari, it explains Birchas ata gibur, the blessing of you are strong, that we say in Shmona Esrei, Gvura lisgaber al hateva, that he has the strength to overcome nature. V'hi hanhaga shalamayla ma'atava, and that's a conduct that's above nature. V'zeu inyan tchias hamesim, and that's the idea of the revival of the dead. Shomim bebirchas ata gibur, that we say in ata gibur v'shem, the Aleph Gimel and Lamed Aleph. That name is Rashi Tevos Atagibur Lo Lamadnai. V'Shem Gvura, and that's the name of strength of Gvura by Tchias HaMesim. V'ayin b'chai gabi osrei legeven v'im b'gvuros shmonim shana. And if you have the Gvuros, then you have 80 years. V'chein amru Razal, Perek Tes, de Brachos, Daf Nun Ches Amud Aleph, HaGvura Zu Yitzias Mitzrayim. So our sages said that the Gvura, Cha Vaya HaGdula VaGvura, so Gvura Zu Yitzias Mitzrayim, that refers to the taking us out of Egypt, which I guess also is with miracles beyond nature, like the Kuzuri says. V'ayin B'Zohar Chilik Beis, Nun Dalet Aleph Al Pasuk Az Yashir O Beharamaz Shehu Yichud Pnimi De Chochmo Bina Shlomailem Yichud Hatadiri Lekiyuma Olamos Hanikra Shoresh. And look in the Ramaz on Az Yashir in Zohar that the Yitzias Mitzrayim, that Az Yashir is the concept of the inner union of Chachma and Bina, which is higher than the constant union of Chachma and Bina to that keeps the world going. It's called the root. So the inner union is only once in a while. It's a higher union beyond the natural regular order of creation. Zeu inyan Sharvit HaZahav, and that's the concept of the golden scepter, the Gvuros. And like we see in the story of Purim, that's how she brought about the miracle by going to the king. Beyond nature, or within nature, beyond nature, in nature, in the story of Purim. Look what's brought about the concept of on this day I will atone for you, and I will, about the idea of how I will place you in the cleft of the rock. So I've seen in Shari Gan Eden, in the sword of Kabbalah Shabbos, in the Shara Osiyoso Skuf, where it talks about how the Nikras Hatzor is Yisod Ima, the feminine Yisod of Ima, which what we're saying here is Bina, and the Sharvit. So Nikras Hatzor is also Yisod Ima. Hey, Ein B'Torah Or, Al Pasuk Yoshit, Hamelech Esther, Sharvit HaZahav, B'Chaye, Kuf Yudal Gimel. Perhaps it's talking about the concept of the Kav. You know, we have the idea of the Kav Dvuli and the Kav Blikvul. That's explained at length in Samach Vav. Vav, Samaches, Simin Tav Tav Nun, Shayara Be'ini Hasach, Mashalo Ratzasa Esther Lavo El HaMelech. That it says there in whatever that sefer is, Samaches, maybe Sefer Chasidim, that it was bad in the eyes of Hasach, that Esther did not want to go to the king. So going to the king is a good thing in this context. Zayin Vihine Sharvit Pirushu Mata. Now Sharvit, a staff, that refers to also the word Mata. Kain Kazu B'Shurashim. That's what's brought in Shurashim, Mustama from the Radak. Ubepardi Tzarech Mata Shnikra Tiferes Mata. And in Pardes, when it talks about the word Mata, that's called Tiferes. That Mata is called Tiferes. Vumate Klat Pechased. That Mata means to lean, and Tiferes leans towards kindness. V'imkin lahayir minyan vavei hamudim shayu kesef. And if so, we can awaken to the idea. We can remind ourselves about this concept that the vavs of the wooden pillars in the Mishkan shayu kesef, that these vavs that were stuck in the pillars to hold up the curtains and so forth, they were silver. V'yesh Shevavehim Zahav, and there were those that had golden vavs. So I had silver vavs and golden vavs. Vain be Mem Gimel Dalet Vav. Maybe Migdal David. And in my humble opinion, Tzemach says that the silver is higher than the gold is higher than the silver. He al derech kino shel shmonas nimin, because it's similar to the concept of the harp with 8 strands in comparison to the harp with 7 strands. That's what it says in Pietz Chaim about how you will not be redeemed with money or with silver. And not like the Migdal David, Kizahavu Bina, because gold is Bina. So the concept of the vav, the length, is similar to a sharvit or a mate, and it's you have silver, and they were silver mostly, and so apparently the Migdal David holds that idea of silver vavim is a higher idea, but it seems that the golden scepter are higher because that's bina. Imkin sharvit hazav tiferes de ima. So if we say that sharvit is mate and mate is tiferes, so then the sharvit hazav, if we're saying it's bina, would be tiferes of ima. Shusod shara chamishim, that tiferes of ima is the 50th gate. Shemimenu nasa keser lezun, that from which becomes the crown for za and nukva. So that's different than the beer before, where Sharvit Hazav is tiferes is sort of ima. Kam lahayim inyan mateu zechachul, also to awaken to the concept that's brought about the staff of your strength. Umeinyan chosamcha v'silechu matechachulu, the concept by Tamar and Yehuda, where she takes an iravon of your seal and your ptil, your straps and your staff. So these are other places where you have this idea of mate. So mate uzecha, I guess, is the concept of gvura as well. I'm not sure how to connect the idea of the iravon of mate. And what about then? And also you have this idea by Moshe, by the splitting of the sea, and so forth, where it says, "Now lift up your mata." What's lifting it up? We can say that that's a similar concept to stretching out the golden scepter. Is lifting it up, stretching it out. It's a similar idea. It's the concept of the hamshacha from this level. And look what's brought in the Mamer and matos, the difference between a shevet and a mate. Now the vav, so the vavim we can say is a different concept than the sharvit. We can say that the vavim refers to the kav that shines into tiferes chul. It can be even a higher idea.